Hey everybody, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Montana Finley. We thank you for tuning in, however you're listening or watching on 104.9 The River. However you're with us, we appreciate it. Our guest this week, head coach of the Pirates, Coach Jones. How's it going?
Hey, going good. Thanks for having
That's
us.
good. Thanks for being here. So we've got a lot of things we want to talk about this week, but I guess we'll start off last Saturday. You guys played in the Best of Preps Jamboree. Went up to Chattanooga, played in Finley Stadium. What was that experience like for your team?
Well, I thought it was a good opportunity for us to go up and play in a big stadium and kind of a big scene, and that type of thing. Our kids were a little bit nervous. You could watch them working out before the first game. They're dropping balls, stuff that's not what we normally would do. And I talked to them about it. I'm like, you've worked hard. This is where we're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And these are the situations that we're supposed to be in. And so we played some decent football. It certainly wasn't very pretty at times, but I was proud of how we competed and that type of thing.
And obviously you want to be back there in December for the state. So
yeah, I mean, it's an opportunity to go play on the turf that you're going to play on if you're fortunate enough to win, Golden State Championship.
Mm-hmm. So overall, good experience?
Yeah, it was a good experience.
And in the first matchup, you guys played Red Bank. It was a very anticipated matchup, been canceled for the last 2 years, one from rain delay and then last year from COVID. And I was actually up there 2 years ago when they had the rain delay, and there were a lot of South Pittsburg fans in the stadium, a lot of people ready to see that one. Is that a matchup that we can maybe expect in the future?
Well, again, we would welcome it. I mean, if they would want to play. I mean, again, they're a 4A team. Very well coached. They've got a tremendous staff. I mean, one of my good friends, Ted Lockeby's their defensive coordinator, and Ted Gatewood's up there. I mean, they've got some really, really quality coaches, and so it's an opportunity for us to go against some really good people. And they've got good personnel. Their players, they've got a lot of talent, and they're a lot like us. They're a little bit inexperienced, but they're very talented. And I would assume, unless East Hamilton beats them, I would think they'll probably end up going undefeated in their regular season.
And that was one where you talk about it being a little bit not so pretty, kind of made some mental mistakes along the way.
We gave up deeper to deepest on the first play of defense. You give up a 70-yard touchdown on the first play. I mean, we allowed an outside release, and our deep third defender stops his feet and it's shallow, so you got two verticals up on a deep third defender, and we ought to have an extra defender, and then we ought to be deeper to deepest. We don't give up that one play. It's the difference in the ball game,
But you guys were able to bounce back in your next game up there. Played Bradley Central, beat them 7-6, and there was a 30-minute window in between that first game and the second game. I saw you around the team, saw Coach Ty Robinson around the team. What were you guys, preaching to your team in that window there?
Well, I mean, we're having to hydrate, number one. I mean, it was very, very hot. And I thought Ty did a real nice job of making sure our players were physically ready to play, and I still believe that even in both games that we were in better shape than both teams that we played. And again, I think that's part of the battle, is just being physically ready to go to play.
And fill me and some other non-coaches out there that are watching. When you go to a jamboree or a scrimmage game like that, do you worry about giving away too much of your offense? Is that in the thought process?
I don't really worry about it. I mean, we're not hiding anything we do. We're going to do the things that we do. I think if you look at the teams that have been successful in the past, the Alcoas, the Marables, and I mean, they just run what they run, and you have to be good enough to stop it. And I think that's what we'd like to become. We'd like to become, a machine like some of those teams.
And so how do you fix the mistakes that were made? There's only been, I assume, 1 day of practice in between Saturday and now we're recording this. What did you guys go over in that practice?
Well, I think a lot of it's just confirmation. You can tell them, but once they get out there and they feel the speed and they see that, hey, I'm not going to be able to stop my feet like I do at practice because this guy's not, jogging. I mean, he's running up on me. And I think a lot of it's just experience. I mean, we had a lot of experienced kids. I mean, we had 2 sophomores and a senior that's never played, playing in the defensive secondary in those 3 spots. And you give up a play, and then we fumble the football, and that was a sophomore, fumbling the football. We've got to learn it. that giving up big plays, not taking care of the football, that's the difference in that game. I mean, quite honestly, you could almost say you take away 2 plays and you take away 14 points. And I mean, but you can't just say that, because hey, those plays count just like, the 12 play drive that we had to start the game. We had 19 plays offensively and all that stuff, and all that stats looks good, but it comes down to whether you take care of the football, whether you give up explosions on defense, and that's the difference in the game.
And that's not something that you can go in and really practice. It's something that you're going to take that repetition, the mental.
Well, again, it's my job to coach them and to teach them how important that those particular aspects of the game are. And at that particular time of the day, on that day, I had not done a good enough job of coaching them to explain to them, to make it in their head that this will cost us ball games. You'd much rather that be in a jamboree than in a regular season ball game.
Mm-hmm. So can you explain to us what practice looked like on Monday?
It wasn't bad. It was pretty good. I mean, we again trying to fight this weather, and we tried to find a little window where we could go out there and get some, get some throws in, that type of thing. We've got our offensive game plan, our defensive game plan, and our special teams game plan to install for Sequatchie County. And with that being said, I mean, there's a little bit of learning there. Day one's always more of a learning day than it is go out and compete against each other and that type of thing. We can't afford any more guys getting nicked up, so we've got to have a good surface to practice on. So I've got to be smart as well.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to ask about that. You had a fair amount of guys sitting on the sidelines, not dressed out. Jay Mount, Gio Davis. When do you expect those guys to get back in action?
Well, we'll see. 2 or 3 of them, they were out yesterday, and we'll see today as they continue to progress and try to press themselves physically, and we'll make a quick decision tonight after this ball game, or tonight after this practice, whether they'll be able to play in the ball game.
So it's just wait and see how they're feeling.
Yeah.
Not really rushing anyone back.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, you can't rush them back. I mean, you rush somebody back, you lose them for the year. It's not very smart. So we're just gonna try to listen to Trace, listen to Ty, and just try to work them back like you can and get them ready to play.
Do you think the best of preps is something that you're going to be doing moving forward every year? You're going to Jamboree?
We can go up there and play against some, top-notch talent and top-notch teams, and like I say, real quick whether or not you got a chance to go compete. If you can line up and you're having to block these guys are maybe a little bit bigger than what you're used to, a little bit faster than what you're used to, and I think that's extremely important for our program.
And I thought you guys looked good. I was there on the sidelines. May have had some plays that didn't go your way, but I'd say in the grand scheme, people stayed bought in, stayed.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, the biggest thing for us is buy-in. We preach and we preach, and these guys finally understanding that hey, you got to set the new boundary, and everybody's got to feel, down their line, and some of the things that you've been practicing and them truly not having an understanding, and they've never done it full speed in a game, and now they're starting to get the opportunity. The lack of not having scrimmages in the spring has been very detrimental to our development. So we're using these games as an opportunity to try to get ready.
Well, we're going to take a quick break here. When we get back, we'll sort of get more in detail on the Pirates game coming up this week. We'll go take a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
They're back. Western Sizzlin' is now open, offering kitchen menu items including their new grilled Atlantic salmon. Or enjoy side items like fried okra, baked potatoes, macaroni and cheese, a new salad bar, fresh baked yeast rolls, and dessert choices. At Western Sizzlin', full catering service is available, as well as parties of up to 10 per table. For their to-go customers, Western Sizzlin' is now offering delivery with dinnerdelivered.com or curbside pickup at 423-942-5777. Come on on by and give Western Sizzlin' a try and enjoy their new hours. That's right, Western Sizzlin' is now open 7 days a week, 10:30 a.m. till 9 p.m. Western Sizzlin', located just off I-24 at exit 155, 1130 Tennessee Highway 28 in Jasper. Western Sizzlin', they can't wait to serve you. And don't forget, now offering delivery with dinnerdelivered.com or curbside pickup at 942-5777. Western Sizzlin'. At Comfort Gallery in Kimball, comfort is key. And right now, Comfort Gallery has everything you need to give your living space an upgrade and maximize your comfort. Shop their inventory now for a huge selection of recliners in stock and ready to go. Maybe it's a lift chair you need. Comfort Gallery has a great selection ready for immediate delivery. Also, a variety of name brand sofas to make your living room complete. Comfort Gallery also has an assortment of dining room sets to fit any taste. Relax and unwind and get your best night's sleep with a new mattress. Comfort Gallery has many great brands in all sizes in stock and available for delivery today, along with a large inventory of wooden bedroom suits in many styles. And if you don't see what you're looking for, just ask. Our full-color interactive kiosk is available to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Comfort Gallery offers free delivery and setup, free financing with 6 months same as cash, and free layaway. Located at 780 Main Street, 1 mile north of I-24, exit 152A in Kimball. Comfort Gallery.
Hey, we're back with the Coach's Corner. Got Coach Jones from South Pittsburg High School. Before the break, we were talking about the best of preps and how you thought that went. This Friday is going to be the first game of the regular season against Sequatchie County. What have you seen? What have you heard about Sequatchie going into this one?
Well, I know that they scrimmaged Red Bank up in Cleveland a couple of weeks ago and looked pretty solid. I personally got to watch them play 2 quarters the other night, and all I see is a solid football team. I see they got a lot of depth. They play a lot of kids. They play fast. They play hard, and again, schematically, I mean, they've got a really good plan offensively and defensively, and in the kicking game. And so we've got our hands extremely full with this group coming in.
And, once again, because you're the coach, I'm not, I imagine most people watching this are not in that position. What are the first steps when you're looking at a team to start game planning around them?
Well, I mean, you got to look at, how you run the football. You got to establish a run, so you've got to look at, how am I going to be able to just hand the football off without passing it? Then you go from there and you look at the protection aspect, how we're going to be able to protect against what they've shown that they'll bring. And then route-wise, exactly how we can push the ball down the field and how we can get the ball in our playmakers' hands. I mean, offensively, that's the course of it. And then defensively, you got to stop the run. And then if you can stop the run, you get them in second and extra long or third and extra long. Then how can we keep them there and not give them first downs and get the ball back for our offense and that type of thing.
Speaking about offense, one thing we saw in the Jamboree, Richard Hunter connected to his twin brother Reginald Hunter for two of your touchdowns, the 2 you scored over the weekend. What's it like to see those guys go out there and play together?
Yeah, they're good players. There's no doubt about it. I mean, that both of them bring a unique quality to our football team. They're both kind of quiet guys. They both are very, very good football players, and so again, it's kind of fun to see them throw, to each other. I mean, and the thing about it is, the one ball was called, to him. The other one, he was lined up in the wrong place, ended up at number 2. I have no idea why. He should have been to the left, and he was over to the right at number 2, and ended up catching the second touchdown. That's what I asked him. I'm like, I wasn't even calling that play to him. So, but it worked out for us. Like I say, I mean, we do a lot of moving guys around and putting them in different spots and things of that nature with different plays that we run. So it's one of those things that you take the good with the bad with that.
Yeah, and I know from talking with Richard, he said it's like a connection that a lot of quarterbacks don't have with their wide receivers. So it is fun to see, twin to twin out there on the football field.
You think about how many balls they've thrown and caught at each other, thousands over the years. So I mean.
And speaking of Richard, from my time talking with him for the Spotlight Player of the Week, read the Spotlight Player of the Week, by the way, Marion County News. He's a very smart kid. When we talked, he was telling me all the books that he's been reading, and how when he graduates, he wants to get into robotics, and just you can tell he's very, quiet but very smart kid. How much easier does that make your job to be able to hand your offense off to a kid like that?
Well, we've got a lot of good players. I mean, I don't like to just put all the shine on one guy. I mean, you can go down a laundry list of players that are going to contribute to this football team, but in particular, I mean, I did not know him until we started this process, and you're exactly right. He's an extremely intelligent young man, and he's able to make adjustments, and even when I forget to give him an indicator motion, he'll remember to give an indicator. And I mean, so he's easy to talk to on the side, when we're over there on the sideline, or when I'm talking to him when I'm on the sideline, he can hear me, and he has that ability for he and I to communicate pretty freely when he's out there playing.
I know you just said you don't like to put the shine on one guy, but I have to do it one more time just to, show the kicker some respect. Cooper, had some trouble with his last name. Is it Cowan? Cooper Cowan. Yeah. He hit 2 for 2 on his extra points, hit the field goal that gave you guys 10 points against Red Bank. And actually, you guys drove down the field, drove probably 90-something yards or 70-something yards maybe, started at the 30. But made it all the way to the other side of the field, sent them out for the field goal, he drilled it. And I audibly heard someone say, if South Pittsburg kicking a field goal, you don't see that very often. What's that kind of bring to your team?
Well, I mean, he was All-State as a freshman. I mean, so he only missed, I think, 1 kick as a freshman, knock on wood. So, he can do a little bit of everything. He plays. He's our number 4 quarterback. He can play in the slot. He can play at running back. I mean, he's a better athlete than what people think. So he's got the ability to make all the kicks. We'll see exactly how many he gets opportunities as far as field goals. Mm-hmm. We should score a lot of touchdowns, so he's going to get some extra point opportunities. Mm-hmm. He's a good kid. The thing about him, you'll drive by here on a Sunday evening, he'll be out here kicking, or a Friday evening late, he'll be out here kicking. I mean, he puts his work in.
He had the high energy on the sidelines as well. When I was over there, he had a real positive energy, so that was nice to see.
He absolutely got robbed of Mr. Football Kicker last year. For him not to be in the finalists, that was a crime.
So that, opens you up to kick a little bit more field goals this year if you need to. Talking about this Friday, August 20th, coming up against Sequatchie. You've had the scrimmages, you've had the Jamboree. This is going to be your first time as the head coach here at South Pittsburg, under the bright lights, Friday night lights, Bean Stadium. Do you have any extra nerves going into this?
No. I mean, I'm too old to have nerves. I mean, I'm just hoping that I've prepared them. I'm hoping that I've stressed enough the things that are necessary to win football games, and I get to see, game day's my day. I get to sit back and watch these guys. I got the best seat in the house, and to sit back and let them, let's do their thing. It's a lot of fun, and like I say, when you get to walk off the field, I'm sure a lot of the other coaches can tell you, when you walk in and you see them and they're they've got that joy because they've worked so hard and you don't play 10 ball games. Mm-hmm. You only play 10. I mean, so you're working, doing all that work for 10 opportunities, and you either win a game or you lose a game. And so when you come in and you get to watch them be as happy as they are when they win, that's what it's all about.
Hopefully that'll happen this Friday. I mean, I know you would obviously hope that. I have a little bit less of a dog in the fight, but it's always, I guess that's what you play for, that feeling, and that's what you coach for, is to be able to see them.
That's right.
Now, this may be a little bit out there question, but I think some people may want to know, what are Fridays going to look like for you? What's your routine on game day?
Well, I actually, like I say, I usually try to do a lot of what I would do on a normal work day. And actually, I usually always take a nap before the game, get back up, get a second workout so that it's kind of mimics a new day. Mm-hmm. I call it day 8. And it just allows me to kind of get back into my flow and work out right before the game so that it gets my mind going and kind of calms my nerves a little bit, gets me ready to play.
Well, we're going to take another break real quick. pay some bills, and when we're back, we'll talk a little bit more about this matchup with Sequatchie.
Sounds great.
Harbin Automotive, located at 570 Micah Way in Scottsboro, has over 600 vehicles in stock and guarantees with Harbin's value pricing. Any customer can rest assured they're paying the lowest price anywhere in the nation on every model line that Harbin has in stock. Providing a range of new, used, and certified pre-owned vehicles, anyone at Harbin Automotive, from the knowledgeable staff of the Business Development Center to the fully staffed finance department, all Harbin employees can help customers find the price and style they're searching for, while the service department can get that new car ready to be driven from the lot or the showroom in a matter of minutes. Shopping for a new or used vehicle can be a big decision. However, that doesn't mean it can't be one that's enjoyed by everyone. Visit Harbin Automotive, 570 Micah Way in Scottsboro. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. till 7 p.m. Saturday, 7:30 a.m. till 6 p.m. Call 256-259-6400 or shop online anytime at harbinautomotive.com. Make the short drive and save at Harbin Automotive, Scottsboro, Alabama.
I look to the tower for vision because someday I'll have to send him to college, and I want to be ready.
We look to the tower for strength because cash flow sometimes doesn't flow at all. You need a strong partner behind you.
My family looks to the tower for innovation.
Well, that and lollipops for the children.
Look to the tower. Tower Community Bank. A higher standard. TowerCommunityBank.com.
Hello, this is Ron Nunlick from the Mountain Mark. I would like to invite everybody to come by for some family-friendly service. We offer hamburgers, pizzas, cakes, and deli sandwiches that are made fresh to fix your cravings. We are a local retailer of the Berkeley Water Filtration System. It makes your pond water drinkable and your tap water contaminant-free. We also have a selection of firearms and ammunition from Ruger, Henry, Mossberg, Glock, Winchester, and many other brands. You can call us at area code 423-619-8616. Follow us on Facebook at Mountain Mart, Home of the Mountain Burger, for our daily lunch specials. Visit our website, mountainmart.net, to check out our firearm selection, ammunition, outdoor equipment that you can also order from our website. Thank you and have a blessed day.
Appreciate you tuning in for the Coach's Corner this week. We're going to take a little sidebar here from the Chris Jones interview, and Montana and I have been roaming through the Marion County teams that call here home this past week. Now you got to watch Marion County play. Was it Thursday night?
Thursday night,
and what was your takeaway?
I thought they looked good. They won both of their quarters. They got a good mix of older guys who play well, and then younger guys who also have stepped in and played well. Freshman Sam Pickett took a 40-yard touchdown to the house. So I think they got a good team. They're going to be exciting. They play Grundy County this Friday.
Yeah, and that'll be a big milestone for Marion County coach.
Yeah, Coach Pruitt, if he's looking for his 300th win. So
that'll be exciting if they stay on track for that. Then Friday night, I got to watch Whitwell, and they took on Chattanooga Central. It was a 4A school, and of course Whitwell is not. But whereas you talk about Marion with a good mix, Whitwell is decidedly young. They have a lot of first-time players, getting a start this season, and it was 20-0. They had a full game scrimmage, and honest to goodness, Whitwell forced a fumble from Central early in the game, and they probably gave up, 180, 200 pounds on the line. And still, it was a clumsy start. But they got there, where they were making the stops, and defense put good pressure on Central's quarterback, made him make some throws that he wished he didn't have to. But I'd be remiss to not mention they've got a junior running back core, basically. They've got a freshman at quarterback, this is a team that is, whether it was on purpose or sheer luck, it is built for the future too. And like, I think they're going to be a problem for people this season for sure. But I think next season you've got to think of them as a contender.
And Whipple's going to kick off their season this Friday against Cumberland County. I'm not too familiar with them personally, but
yeah, they've got 2 quarterbacks that they've been switching out in preseason, and they've got a receiver who also lines up at corner, and he pulls balls from 3 yards off the mark. I mean, he's very good with his hands, and I think Whipple's going to have to continue putting that pressure on that quarterback and make sure that he doesn't get to throw, either one of them get to throw the pass he wants to. I think that's going to be essential for that matchup. But Cumberland went 1-8, I think, last year, so it's a doable game, but it's like every other game, you can't go to sleep.
And we talk about Coach Pruitt chasing his 300th win as head coach. There's Coach Rocky Stevenson. It'll be his first one.
Looking for his first.
But to get to 300, you got to start somewhere.
You got to have number one.
You got to get number one. And obviously, as you're watching this, it's been Coach Jones, and we've been talking about their first game against Sequatchie County. That one, Sequatchie usually has a tough team, so that one should be good.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna lean towards the Pirates. They got home field, and I think the home crowd and everybody's ready for football, and I think that's just a tough place to play. Mm-hmm. I don't care how fundamentally sound you are. The crowd makes that one tough for everybody. So.
And luckily for us here at the newspaper, Marion County News, we don't have to travel too far to cover any of these games.
All 3 of our local teams are going to be at home, so we appreciate all the scheduling that went into that.
I know they had us in mind when they were. And another fun one, a little bit, south of the border there, the state line. North Jackson's going to be taking on Scottsboro in a big rivalry game. That one's usually
and they're playing that at North Jackson this year.
That is at Scottsboro.
Is it really? I was afraid I dropped a year, but I've actually covered one of those games, and the one I covered was in Scottsboro, and that's a serious rivalry.
Well, it's a good slate of games getting us kicked off the football season here in the Sequatchie Valley. I'm personally looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think it ought to be a fun night of football, and it helps that we only have to travel to the next zip code to get to them. So we're excited for this week's games. We're excited that you tuned in with us, and look forward to continuing this as long as our mental health allows us. And I'll let you get back to Coach Jones.
Sounds good. All right, we're back with head coach Chris Jones talking about this Friday, August 20th against Sequatchie. I know you guys have the game day clock winding down, getting ready for that. What are the emotions for a senior kicking off his senior season coming in here?
Well, it's been like 40 years since I did that, so I really have to ask them. I mean, but I would think that, again, with all the work that they put in, that there is a little bit of, not nervousness, but you get those little game day butterflies where, they'll all go away after the, kickoff or the kickoff return. All that kind of fades to the side. But again, at the same time, the build up between now and then is going to be, it's going to be good.
And I know you have your eyes set on Sequatchie. You may not even want to answer this question, but you won't be back on before this game happens. Next week, you guys are going to be at Chattanooga Christian. It's a very impressive team. Have you seen anything from them? And
you know what? We've not watched a stitch of film on them. We've just been preparing for Sequatchie, trying to get as much film as we can, trying to get as much info as we can so that we're prepared going in.
Mm-hmm. And I 100% expected that answer. I knew you we're focused on anyone except Sequatchie County, but
That's right.
I'd be remiss for myself if I didn't ask you about them.
Yeah.
Good young team. Do you know any of the guys that Sequatchie's going to rely on? You have any numbers?
I know Seven's an awful good player. Locke was telling me that last year he changed their angles. He plays with a different speed than a lot of people, you know. So if you're changing Red Bank's angles when you're playing them, then we better be watching for them.
And this is just fun. This doesn't necessarily have to do with this matchup coming up. But I've seen a lot of people pushing for a McReynolds Dragons throwback uniform. You know, the historic school here in South Pittsburgh. And I know Little League teams have adopted the logo and the uniforms. Is that something that you would consider doing?
Well, again, it would just be all dependent upon money, you know. I mean, in a small program like we have, I mean, an alternate uniform is a great thought, but when you start looking at and put it into dollars and cents, it sometimes doesn't add up. So we would certainly, out of respect for the great program that they had there at McReynolds, the great school that they had, a lot of our players are descendants from guys that played there, people that went to school there. So certainly we would pay our respects to that school.
Well, guys, Friday night, 6 p.m. here at Bean Stadium. It's going to be the Pirates versus the Indians of Sequatchie County. I know the Pirate fans aren't the group that I have to try to rally together to get to come out. I know they'll be here.
Yeah, they'll be here.
But it should be a good one. Coach, I appreciate you coming on. Appreciate the time.
Appreciate you having me.
We got to steal some of your planning period.
There we go.
And make sure you tune in to the Coach's Corner. If you miss us on Wednesdays, it'll be on 5:30 on Thursdays, 4:30 on Fridays. And if you still miss it after all that, they'll be on our YouTube page. Just Coach's Corner-TN. You can find us on Facebook at Coach's Corner-TN. Until next time, this has been the Coach's Corner.